artist. Now listen to what I gotta say. Sarah.
It's trying to rape me! Okay, so today's lesson is about Black Wall Street.
Come on out, boy.
Okay, class. Let's exit in orderly fashion. Come on.
I ain't done yet.
Okay, so today's lesson is about Black Wall Street.
Watch now on tranquilinferno.com.
tranquilinferno.com. Click the link in the description box to see how to watch the film Tranquil Inferno. Type viral code 10 in the promo code section to get 10% off your order. Great film by a great director and a great brother. Go ahead and support. Promo code viral 10. Go ahead and click the link now. And if you want to be featured on Viral Hip Hop News, if you want a commercial in the front of my videos, if you want to conduct an artist spotlight where I interview you, independent entrepreneurs, artists, whatever the case may be, email me, dlsmediainc1@gmail.com. Again, dlsmediainc1@gmail.com to see how you can do that. Can't wait to see your emails. Let's get to work.
Happy New Year to the people out there. Hope you're staying on your resolutions for the new year. They say most people fall off in the first week.
Yeah, yeah, they do.
You know what I mean? But hey, man, at least you was ambitious for a few days. But nevertheless, let's get into it, man. Yeezy is back in the news once again. He is pissed off at Adidas. Now, apparently, Yeezy Googled Yeezy.com, and he was pissed off that, Adidas actually came up before the Yeezy.com. He went on to say, "Stop doing your moves to hold me back. Our partnership is done. You're a $60 billion company that froze my account. Now I'm back on my feet, no pun intended. And I'm not going to stand for this. I did phenomenal work for you guys, and because I stood up for myself, y'all tried to intimidate and oppress me. Everyone remembers how I had major issues with Adidas because of design theft and oppression before the tweet side. Note, y'all know Jerry was corny and disloyal and doing work with Adidas. After the way he handled things, I still showed up to his show. This was a copy of my Hollywood Bowl show being so-called bigger man, but I'm never doing that again for anyone. It's Yeezy over everything. Everyone that ever took a picture next to me had their own clothing lines, agendas, yada, 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 yada. I'm not going to, it's a lot to read. Y'all can check it out later. But, it's a sticky situation because I remember at the time, man, he was taking a stand, it seemed like, against, the powers that be. But it's kind of confusing to me because I'm like, what's really good, dog? Like, I mean, I get it. Like, you split. They decided to actually split from him because of what they say anti-Semitic remarks.
Yeah.
And then it was a deal in place for them to sell out the remaining inventory. Now, Yeezy's pretty much claiming that, his accounts were frozen, but I thought behind the scenes they made a deal.
Yeah.
So it appears now that he is mad now that when you put in a search, they're coming up. So I kind of don't get it. It's one of those situations, like I thought they was done.
Yeah.
I thought it was over with. What the hell is this dude talking about, man?
Right, yeah, it says, I'm reading too. I mean, this is, of course, our Google search. In October, Adidas and West reached a settlement that you were talking about to resolve our outstanding legal claims. Both sides withdrew claims and said they don't need to fight anymore. All of this is, and then you got Kanye West, and he's not the greatest orator of explaining exactly what's going on. You got to kind of read between lines and figure out things and connect dots of your own. And we don't got those dots because we ain't in the situation, right? And ultimately what it looks like is, and when you talk about platforms that rode hard for Kanye during that time, you won't find many that rode harder for him than us. Right. And had different. And I'm not trying to put us on a pedestal because a lot of people rode for Kanye during that time. We still rock with Kanye, but it's like, all right, the deal was supposed to end in 2024. We 8 days into 2025. Was you looking for it to end at midnight on January 1st of 2025? And if that was the agreement, then yeah, they got some things to answer to. But this is what happens when you get into bed with these type of dudes and these power that be. And it was all good just when the millions was flowing and everything was cool, it was good. And you said what you said years ago, and a lot of people agreed with what you said, but there's also consequences behind that. And you're dealing with some powerful people that don't really got to give a damn on who you are. You're a pebble in the grander scheme of things, and they've proven that. I mean, they beat your ass senseless, unfortunately, and a lot of it was unjust, but it's the reality of the situation. And Adidas is a billion-dollar company that was here before Kanye, and it's clearly going to be here after Kanye. So I hope that he gets his money, and I hope all of this gets settled. But the random rants on social media and all of this stuff and this oppression here and this, that, there, bro, we don't want to hear about how oppressed you were when you made over $1 billion, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, woo. I don't want to hear that shit. Now, obviously, things were happening to you that was unjust, and things happened to you that was unfair. But you pushing that oppressed button and all that shit. Come on, bro. Now we're not gonna play martyr at the same time. Like either you're gonna ride with it and stand 10 toes down, and it is what it is. Like I said, you deserve your money, and if it's from a legal perspective and things were written in paperwork that you aren't getting, you deserve it. But all these rants and shit, man, we could save all that for real. In my opinion.
like those are corny. Like they got to stop. People got to stop doing that. If you're gonna do that, go sit down with a journalist of your choice and talk about it. Explain. Let people ask you questions. Okay, what happened? What's going on now? These rants it leaves too much up for interpretation. You said they're holding you back. How? How are they holding you back? You said you're on your feet now. But think about it. Like Adidas, they were willing to forego billions of dollars potentially in the future for a comment that you made, man. For a remark that you made.
Wish we all could stand on that type of business.
Oh, man.
Anyway,
it ain't happening. It ain't happening. But think that's essentially what happened. It was like, no, we done. I don't care. Yeah, we made mad bread, over billions of dollars with you. But hey, you going to Adidas now? I mean, they kind of biting. I ain't gonna lie, they biting off Ye.
No, without question.
They designed.
Took his shit.
Yeah, they doing their thing. But the bottom line is they're going to survive. And I'm gonna ask you this: do you feel like he could have been successful without Adidas?
100%.
Me too.
When you look at the Red October that came out with Nike and the value of those, when you look at his career and his mind and who he was as a cultural icon at the time, hell yeah, he could have did it.
Right.
I mean, you look at the moves that he made after the Adidas situation and the clothing line that he came out with, and we just talked about it in the pre-production. Not our choice. We don't really like the shit. But the fact of the matter is he did it. Mm-hmm. And if them Yeezy ideas came from his brain, and they obviously did, and to the paper, and they were dope, and they sold like crazy during the time that he had his name behind it, why wouldn't he be able to do it? We tell him he couldn't get distributors, he couldn't get this or that. He could damn sure do it. What do you need, an Adidas moniker behind it to put? No, you don't. Not in my opinion. Right. I think he had the kind of mind and the kind of determination to absolutely did it, but he got in bed with somebody to try to make more money, and unfortunately ended up backfiring on him because it went against some of his moral values. He talked on it, and you see what happened.
I think it's the kind of like the same thing, and we're going to talk about this in the next subject down. It's about the distribution. The same thing with the music, I think. It's like, yeah, he probably could have did it, but would he have got the distribution channels? Because remember, Adidas is everywhere.
Yep.
I mean, you got all over the country, all over the world. So you're like, just like if you come with a shoe today and it goes into Adidas tomorrow, you got a little bit of celebrity. Most likely the shit gonna pop because they already got distribution. Same with music. Everybody's going to Universal. But they got the distribution. Now, I think he could have done it and probably would have been a little bit harder to do it. But just imagine he came with that design by himself and he had his own factory in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And, people were making these in there and whatever. I think he would have popped still without it being attached to Adidas. It might have took a little longer.
Yeah.
But I think the reason that people go these ways and they go that way because of distribution. Same with the liquor.
Mm-hmm. You got to, but ask yourself this, and I'm going to kind of compare it to the podcast game, right? Independent, we've been independent our whole time, and we made a good amount of money. We've been able to take care of our families, and that's all you can really ask for. Yeah. But you got some podcast platforms out here making millions of dollars, but can't say or do what they want to do. You have other podcast platforms that may be making thousands, even hundreds, maybe 10,000, whatever the case may be, but they have the freedom to say what they want. Yeezy may not have gotten to billionaire status necessarily without the Adidas moniker behind him, but would he have still had his freedom? Would he have still had everything? Would he still have his design? Would he still have the freedom to do what he want with it and still be hundreds of millions of dollars in the bank as opposed to that $1 billion status? We care about that status so much, and we care about, I want to be sitting here amongst all these people, but then you got to play their game and play by their rules. And Kanye clearly, when he gets in these type of environments, don't always want to play by people's rules. And we agree with him on most of that shit, but then you can't go crying afterwards because you know who you got in bed with, dog. And you wanted that billionaire status. They gave it to you, but they told you how fast they could snatch that shit away. And, I mean, we all got choices. You want to either go ahead and live free and maybe not make as much, or go ahead and put your hand in there and take your chances. And it seemed like Kanye put his hand in there, took his chances, and it backfired on him. I don't want to see nothing bad happen to that brother, and I want him to be able to keep his creative spirit alive. It's just these rants and shit sometimes, they get so confusing. you don't even know what to make of the shit. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Are these the Kanye sneakers right here? Are those the pods or no?
oh my god,
They going for 14? No way. That can't be Kanye's.
that look like them shits.
Wow.
I mean, and they had a buzz for what 3-4 days. You seen people wearing them shits, and then
Yeah.
I
Whoa. Hold on. Let me do another.
can't. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, they are, bro. Ooh.
that's a lot cheaper than $250, $230 when they was selling them Yeezys. And I ain't bought a Yeezy since Kanye's name ain't been on them.
Oh, no. Heck no.
I ain't bought not a one, and I'm
Nope.
not going to. Fuck Adidas.
Yeah,
Said it
yeah.
then, gonna say it now. But
I ain't even bought no Adidas. Usually I was rocking with Adidas.
Yeah.
But like, now, like, man, I ain't rocking with no Adidas no
Word.
more, bro. I'll still, go to Nike a lot, even Puma sometimes. But I just, the way they did the man, I just feel a certain way
word, me too.
about them. And man, think about it, man. Kanye, dog. I mean, would you say Jordan status with Yeezy?
Yeah,
Close to it,
Yeah,
right underneath
He
him.
was getting there.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, of course, he don't got the longevity as the Jordan has, but when you talk about popularity in shoe, when you talk about pricing and it's selling out just as fast. When we was in the sneaker game heavy a couple years ago, we seen how fast them things was moving. Things was moving,
It's
bro.
like Jordans.
Like Jordan. So hell yeah, he was up there.
Now they don't even want them joints. Sneakerheads ain't buying them no more.
Nope. Give them away.
And it's very rare, even Jordans that they're buying now. It's like certain ones. Now it's about New Balances and Access, whatever that's called.
Asics, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, all them sneakers. The game changes, but it is what it is. A lot of them sneakers are still selling them for high though. They gotta come down on the freaking prices.
Word. The
Stop
Yeezy slide, they still selling for $200.
Really?
Yeah.
The slides?
A couple of them thieves, you know how they could do.
You go to Walmart and get them joints now, baby.
And look just the same. And be just as comfortable. So shit.
Yeah, but nah, man. Shout out to Yeezy. Hopefully, we get a little bit more clarity, from the whole story. And I want to see him go the independent route. You got the money to do it.
What you got to lose
Open
now?
up a freaking factory.
Yep.
Hire some workers. I don't care if you get the China canal. I don't care. It's yours.
Yeah.
Ship them in or whatever, or they could drop ship them and sell them on your own. And I guarantee you, them going to pop. But he can't get those designs no more, obviously.
No.
Because Adidas, for whatever reason, I don't know how Adidas
That's crazy.
got those designs, man.
That's crazy.
But that's just like, again, the story we're going to talk about later. You in the podcast game, you start off hot. Let's say they give you $1 million. All right, $5 million, or 5 years later, that $1 million's gone, right? You ain't getting no more. That's it.
That's it.
You're done. It's over.
Yep.
The same with that. Like, it's over. Now we control your podcast. So if you want to now record, the money's going to come to us now. We got to recoup.
Mm-hmm.
For the next whenever until this money is recouped. Same thing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Same exact shit. It's over because they own it now. They own the design, so you can't make bread off it like you want to.
And I wonder, the agreement ended in 2022 and it ended abruptly. Clearly, he wasn't out of his contract. There's a clause in the contract saying that we own your design in perpetuity if a contract is broken or whatever the case. I'm sure there's information that we don't know about.
Has to be.
And we know Adidas crossed their T's and dotted their I's to make sure they was protected. And you would assume Kanye West would be intelligent enough and savvy enough and sharp enough to do the same. But somebody didn't. Yeah. And Kanye's the one taking the heat right now, or taking the biggest hit from it. So
Yeah.
hopefully it all ends and works out, man.